So in this wonderful video, if all goes well, we'll be doing some more stuff with Uni-Fi. I went out and bought one of their 24 port switches. I've had pretty good luck. I mean, I can't really complain on anything that I've bought because A, I research before I buy things, and B, I tend to know what I'm buying and what I plan on doing. So a couple things have changed at the house. One, I've bought a couple more devices. So let's go over here. So I got the Uni-Fi gateway. I was running a Edge Max, which I still like. The Uni-Fi gateway gives me a little more control over what I want to see, and it's mostly GUI, so that makes life easier. I bought one of their switches, the 24 Unify non-POE. Don't need the POE. And of course, I have my AP access point Lite, which I also love. So this is the latest and greatest production version of the Uni-Fi software. And I went ahead and I plugged in the switch and I adopted it. The Uni-Fi gateway was kind of a pain in the keister to get running, but once I did, no problem. It involved SSHing into it to manually force it to join a controller. Not a big deal. My controllers run out in the cloud, and that's where it better stay. I have multiple sites, and everything just kind of works, and I love it. So let's look at the Uni-Fi switch real quick here. So here's my switch. I only got 6 things plugged in at the house. Actually, probably have more, but they're not all turned on. And we're currently running. And as you can tell, it's not too bad. The fan, I never hear running, and I have the switch sitting on its side. It's not rack mounted properly or anything like that. Should it be? Of course, but it isn't. One of the things I really like, if you have multiple switches, you get the downlink here and your uplink. So you'll automatically know which port your uplink's on. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. So there it is. And that'll show you what's going to and from your gateway or your router. So I've had pretty good luck. Can't really complain. And then we have everything else here. So let's look at the switch. So it's been up 12 days. Not too bad. I've had them up for months and months. I think I've had a couple in data centers that were for years. It is what it is. You generally don't change switches too much if you know what the heck you're doing, unless it's something that you didn't plan for, which you should be planning. So here we have 2 100 meg ports. Those are both going to TiVos. I have a TiVo Romeo and one of the Series 3 HDs. I love them. They work pretty well, but they only run at 100, and I don't really understand why they didn't put gig on the Romeo, but I'm guessing they figured that they didn't need it. So whatever works, works. And then we have our configuration pane. So in this case, we have the name. I have the LED on. I have my one VLAN, which is only one. Services, manage VLAN. I have rapid spanning tree turned on, just in case one of the kids gets it. Network, DHCP. Get your managed device, upgrade, forget, copy configuration. Love this option right here. I wish this option existed for everything. I mean, usually you can, blind FTP into it and grab it, but that's not always the case. And you can always dump these ahead of time and save them somewhere. And I love that. And, here's your SFP ports. There's 2 of them. And everything just kind of works. I mean, you could go ahead and plug a loop in just to test spanning tree, which I may do in a second if I can find a Cat5 cable here. There's one. Computer desk of an IT person who isn't anal about keeping things clean. Suffice it to say, it's interesting. So let's plug 2 ports in. We're going to go with the far top on the far right. So there goes one click. And let's get the one right next to it. And then, so I just created a spanning tree link, and it should see that in a second. Yep, both ports are okay because it doesn't see anything, which I find weird. That should not be. I need a broadcast or something for it to catch it. Yeah, so far, nothing. So this port and this port are currently set up to cause a spanning tree issue. Yep, because there's no real traffic going past. There's nothing going on. Interesting. It's smarter than I am. However, I have caused spanning tree before, and I have caused it to lock it out, which was nice, but apparently not this time. Apparently that hasn't radio backed yet either. There it is. Oh, it did do it. Okay, so it left the port active, but it enabled spanning tree anyways and filtered it, which is nice. You know, it left one of the two sides active. So now you have you have an issue on the console. Now what it didn't do is it didn't disable the port on the side of the switch with a illumination of the light differently. It's not a failure. It's just the way it is. I personally would have loved to have a like a blinking orange or orange green, just to indicate, you know, spanning tree blocking. But I gotta say, I've been pretty impressed with these. Some of the other firmware versions were kind of, you know, now you see another downlink right here going to itself. It recognized that. But I gotta say, I mean, I really, really love this sucker. And let's go ahead and check our speed. www.speedtest.net. Love these guys. Miko, it's not your turn to talk. Yes, that's a Sun Conure in the background. He has decided that everybody must hear him. Period. He must be in every video. He doesn't realize I don't want him in the video, but he's not really caring about that. So let's see what we get here. And he just flew over. Come here, Miko. Here, buddy. I know they don't want to see you, though. So we're getting the top speed that I expect to get out of the crappy connection from Time Warner or Spectrum. It's what I pay for. It's what I get. You know, it is what it is. And then we got a bird here. All right, you want to talk to the people? Oh, really? Do you know this is an IT channel, not a bird channel? Are you aware of this? So I don't care. I'm a bird. I must be in the channel. This is the way it works. So, you know, no speed problems as a result of spanning tree kicking. Oh, you think this channel's funny? The video's got to be, yeah. So that's basically it with the rack switch. And that concludes this video. Anybody has any questions, please throw them in the bottom of the video. Like if you like it. If you don't, don't. Remember, anytime you connect a Uni-Fi switch or any other device, you're going to have to adopt it in the console. Once you adopt it, you can configure it, and it's about foolproof. I mean, it's just short of foolproof. If you're truly a fool, you might be able to screw it up, but it takes a trained fool. Later, folks.